happy friends. I am about to start a layout for a series that me, Khristina, Megan, Felicia, and Sara Scraps are doing. And we are doing this instead of doing For the Love of Homemade Kits. So we got talking at the beginning of the year, and I know I was discussing how, for me, I've been having a really hard time with For the Love of Homemade Kits because as much as I love it, I have been using a lot of my full sheets, and I'm on a sprinting freeze right now. And so basically, I'm using up most of my full-size sheets, and I was having a hard time putting kits together, and it just wasn't inspiring me. And I know a whole bunch of us got talking and saying how maybe it would be kind of fun to switch things up a little bit and then come back to For the Love of Homemade Kits later. So we are going to be doing a new series called Cultivating Creativity, and we're going to be basically doing challenges where we're doing layouts. So we can use scraps, we can use all different kinds of stuff, but we're going to have basically like a challenge each week. So it'll be really similar probably to how we kind of did Mojo Busters a while ago. So I hope you guys are excited about it because we're excited about changing things up. And I think sometimes that's just necessary, especially for us who scrapbook a lot and are on different types of design teams and stuff like that. I think that we sometimes doing the same thing over and over again kind of get, it doesn't necessarily help your mojo. So to cultivate creativity, we just want to do some different things. And so this week we are doing a challenge that Khristina has put together or thought of. And so she thought it would be really fun if we did a layout inspired by candy or something to that effect. So we're going to take candy or some kind of yummy goodness and make that into a layout however we feel we want to do that. So like say you could take Skittles and use the phrase like taste the rainbow and have that be your layout be inspired by that. You could use I don't know, there's some other different ways. I get you could take like Milky Way and do a layout based on space or something. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this layout and this challenge and make it really, really fun and use up scraps and tell stories and all that good stuff. So I went on a little journey here when I was thinking about this, because I was trying to think about like my favorite kind of candy, and I love Skittles. So when I was a teenager, I got pretty sick, and Skittles were the one thing that every time I was in the hospital, my dad would just grab me a big bag of Skittles. So I was thinking I wanted to use something like that for my challenge. But then I got thinking about Starburst, but then I got thinking about a story that I've been wanting to tell, and that is my multiple hair colors. So I have a whole bunch of pictures from this past year. I may or may not use all of these pictures in a layout, but I printed them all. And as you can see, I have multiple variations on the color of the red color. Well, this one is a little bit more blondie, and now it's kind of like a strawberry color. But so I did, this one was supposed to be a purple and it turned out pink. And so so fast forward to I'm changing up my inspiration, because when I was thinking about all this, I was thinking about how when I did my hair this color and I seen it, I thought, man, I look like a strawberry. This is like strawberry shortcake on my head. So I'm going to use that as my inspiration. I know that that is completely not what the challenge was, but I think that this is the fun part about doing challenges like this, is that sometimes you start thinking out one way and then you kind of find yourself in a whole different place. And so my layout is going to be um, inspired by Strawberry Shortcake, the show. I have two girls, and one of their favorite shows for a long time was Strawberry Shortcake, and there's all these different characters, and their hair is basically the color that of their character. And so I thought it would just be kind of fun to kind of do a play on that. And so I will probably choose maybe I'll choose like these colors or something, or I don't know. So I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it, but I thought I would do a play on the fact that I've had all these multiple different hair colors, and how my hair turned out Strawberry Shortcake here. So I don't know, like I said, I have no idea exactly how I'm going to do this. I may do like this and then have a small 6x12 where I do more journaling on that spot. I'm not really sure because I have no idea exactly how it's going to turn out, but it's inspired by Strawberry Shortcake. And so I hope that you guys are excited about this twist that I'm putting on the challenge. And I think the ladies will love this, because this is the whole point of this series and these challenges, is to really just get your brain thinking of a different way to start a scrapbook page. And so sometimes when you think outside of the box, you can come up with a story that come up with something that tells stories in a whole better way than you thought possible. So I am super excited. So let's get this show on the road, and I will get started. I think I'm going to do some mixed media, because you can't start a layout without mixed media. No, that's not true. I just thought mixed media would look really fun. I might start off with some watercolor and some pink or something, but we shall see. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited, and let's hit the road running, and let's make a layout, and you can join me. And then when you guys are done watching my video, don't forget to look in the link, the info box below, so you can check out all the other ladies' videos, because all of the other ladies are going to be doing videos today, and we all are doing this whole challenge. So each of our layouts will be completely different, but that's the fun part, is that you get to see a different twist on all these cool challenges. So I will see you guys in a minute. Hey, my scrappy friends. Welcome to this new series, Cultivating Creativity, that I am doing with Khristina, Sara, Megan, and Felicia. I think that's it. And me. Khristina, yeah. Okay, I was just making sure I'm not leaving anybody out, because that would be horrible. Anyway, so the four of us, well, the five of us, but all of us have been working on For the Love of Homemade Kits. And like I just mentioned in the video before, we decided to change things up and do a little bit of a different series. So we are inspired by candy this week, but I kind of switched it up. There's my doggy's nose, and she was checking out what I was doing there, because sometimes she just likes to scrapbook with me. I think she's jealous I'm not getting the attention. But anyway, so I am inspired by Strawberry Shortcake, and as you can see, I just painted some watercolor on my background, and I did use clear gesso on that white cardstock so that you can't see the difference in the color. It's not necessary, but I actually really like it. Though the clear, I found a really nice clear, and I think that's the key, is finding a really nice clear that you like. The regular kind that is more of an off-white works really nicely when you're working on a pattern that you want to tone down, but for something like this, I really don't like that difference. But you just got to find a good brand that isn't very gritty, because I find that I just didn't like that. So anyway, I am using my stencil to create a background on top of that watercolor, and I'm using a Uniball pen. This one works really nicely on gesso, and it writes really smooth. I found that with like the Sharpies or like the precision type of pens that you can get, um, because it's a felt tip or more of a felt tip, it the nib goes bad a lot easier on gesso. So especially if it is gritty, but um, so you do have to watch out so it doesn't smudge as much, because it does take, it's not, it doesn't smudge really easily, but it does smudge if you're not careful. So if that makes any sense at all. But I really like the Uniball pen. So I just did a whole bunch, and they're just circles, and I just did a zigzag in it, so it makes a really fun pattern. And I just wanted something really fun because strawberry shortcake is fun, and my hair in this is fun. So right now I'm just working on putting a border around those two photos. They are 3x4 sizes. I have been really digging this size right now. I think it's because with the smaller size, depending on what size layout, because I've been doing a lot of like 9x12 layouts lately too, and it just kind of offers a really nice, it offers a lot of white space, but I can use more than one and to tell my story or whatnot, and so I can get more photos on without it being looking really funky. So I'm just looking through some papers. I'm also punching out some of these circles on the 6x6 pad of the Dear Lizzie. And I was looking through the Dear Lizzie Serendipity line because those colors in there are really nice and bright and fun and cheerful. And I thought that maybe I could get some of them to work with the color scheme that I'm kind of working with, some grays and black and whites and some pinks and stuff. And I knew that line had a lot of that, but I found that the pinks were kind of a little bit more purpley. And so I did have to kind of be careful how much of it that I added, but I did add some of it. So as you can see, I layered a couple of papers already, and one was a paper from old Click Kit, and then the other one was from the Pink Paisley, the Paige Evans Fancy Free line collection that came out last year. So, and down here at the bottom, I'm working on this. I want to put like something like a corner on the corner. And I wanted it to be like 2 layers, like kind of like how it is there, but the only ones that I thought would look really nice with the pink was the green, but it just, because the patterns were so close in color, well, they were the same color, but because they were similar, they just like really faded in together, and I didn't like it. And I just wasn't sure what other color to put to not have it look weird, because that pink is just a different color pink because I used the food gel. So if you guys haven't followed my channel, when I first started, I used a lot of non-traditional mixed media things. And one of the things that I really like to use on occasion is the Wilton's food coloring gel. And now, obviously, I don't use it if I've been using it with food, but the ones that I hadn't opened, I kind of opened up, and I mixed it up with a lot of water, and it's super fun. It's probably not archival safe, but usually I layer stuff between, as you can see, I layered stuff so my photo's not sitting directly on it anyway. But anyway, so it just gives this really vibrant color, and it doesn't fade like some other stuff. And I really just like the vibrancy. I really should just get a really nice watercolor palette that is one of the more pigmented. I probably would like it so much more. But anyway, so I'm using a lot of glue because I have a lot of layers, and with the gesso, sometimes it doesn't stick that great. And I really would like to not have to find that my cluster, my main cluster of photos had fallen off in like 5 or so years, because it probably won't happen within the next year. But after years and years of it sitting,
straight up. There is that possibility because gesso just doesn't hold as well. So you because of the grit and the tooth on it, you really have to you really need to have some strong glue. So I just use a lot and that seems to work. So now I'm just kind of working with these circles, trying to figure out which ones I want to use, how many I want to use. I really like the colors with that background, and they're just so nice and girly and pretty, which is kind of what I think about when I think of strawberry shortcake. You know, she's fun and girly, and my girls love strawberry shortcake. But anyway, so I wanted to talk a smidge bit about this photo because we haven't gotten to that part yet, right? So the story that I'm wanting to tell is about how when we first got to Washington, I was going to dye my hair a like lilac color purple, and I didn't strip the color out of my hair, which was probably my biggest mistake, but it was really, really blonde when I did it. So I was thinking that maybe it would be okay. I say really blonde. It had lightened up quite a bit from the last time I had dyed my hair. So, but with all the red that's in my hair, it turned the strawberry color purple or the like pink. And so that is what this layout is about. And here are all the close-ups. You can see all the goodies, all that texture, and my video did stop, so you're seeing some extra stuff on there that I didn't have in the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the rest of the ladies' layouts, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks when we do our next episode. Bye!